ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in AHN Arnold Holonet News for video number 2 for today. The news just keeps on coming. For Galaxy Heroes, we have the brand new Imperial Super Commando Touch Up, as well as some other stuff we gotta go over, such as it looks like this next set of Datacrons are gonna give Imperial troopers a big boost, as well as Unaligned forces, and they're, God dang it, they're doing something I'm not happy about. They're bringing back Galactic Legends Datacrons, and of course they have some updates coming for the brand new Conquest, since next week we got this brand new Gideon that we're gonna be chasing after. So come on over, let me show you what we got cooking in the kitchen. So we're gonna go over this. If you missed it, there's a card in the top right hand corner showcase the brand new Dark Trooper Moff Gideon Conquest unit. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping it's not going to be super contained to Territory Wars. They're saying it could be great with Mandalorians, which we're going to talk about here in a second. For Grand Arena, great with Imperial Remnants inside of Territory Wars, maybe great with Imperial Remnants inside of Squad Arena, maybe great with Lord Arena, not Squad Arena, Grand Arena. We'll see. Lord Vader, Imperial Troopers, Mandalorians. You know, there's a couple of good things to maybe get excited for, but there's a piece of the puzzle they said that they were going to be showing us. There's a Super Commando Touch Up, which in general, pretty trashy unit. Even when it came out, the only reason why you upgrade the relics on this guy, or just gear in general, is to boost the gauntlet power. The ship is very good. The characters, not so much. But they're trying to, especially when we saw here, they're like trying to show that, hey, you can use Beskar Gideon with Mandalorians, even though it's gonna be kind of odd because he doesn't have the Mandalorian tag, but he does have ways to like revive Mandalorians, for example. So it seems like we've got to wait and see. Maybe they're trying to push the Mandalorians into a dark side only crew, but my curiosity is here. Mandalorians, they kind of, maybe not mandatory, but they kind of need Bo-Katan to really get the full benefit out of it with all that juicy recovery that Bo-Katan brings. Maybe there's a possibility they're making a dark side Mandalorian team and maybe setting the stage for a light side Mandalorian team. Beskar Mando, I mean, the guy's only good with the Fennec team against Lord Vader, and other than that, kind of blah for the most part. But who knows, you know, it's coming almost to a year to Mandalorian season 3. Maybe we'll expect something bigger of Bo and Mando and armor and stuff like that. So I'm kind of optimistic about it. But nonetheless, let's take a look at Imperial Super Commando's beautiful touch up that they're having here. So before, the unique ability upper hand, pretty garbanzo beans, but now with the new unique ability and upper hand, Imperial Super Commando has plus 100% counter chance and gains 50% offense for each enemy with no buffs. So that could be a good chunk of change. But here's where the cool thing is. Whenever a dark side Mandalorian ally attacks out of turn, think of Canderous. He attacks a lot out of turn when he's being called to. Says Jango Fett does a 2-tap. You see what I'm getting at here? Let's keep reading here. Whenever a dark side Mandalorian ally attacks out of turn, they deal an additional true damage and recover 10% protection. So this is where we kind of maybe can replace Bo. You know, we get some protection recovery. We're getting extra damage, especially with Super Commando getting a lot of attacks out of turn. This could be a pretty nice upgrade for Maul. Whenever Imperial Super Commando or Gar Suxon attack out of turn, the other attacks as well. So when Super Commando attacks out of turn, that means Gar Suxon attacks out of turn. When Gar Suxon attacks over turn, Imperial Super Commando attacks out of turn. So Gar Suxon, unless they're doing another touch-up that they have planned, we're not seeing anything right now, he could definitely use a little bit of help too. But just this alone will definitely help get more damage out of the Mandalorian crew when they're attacking out of turn, making Super Commando a little bit more helpful as well on top of that. So, you know, he gets to attack many times as well, in case we need a little gentle reminder. And what he looks like here, what we have when we look at the current kit here, deal physical damage to target enemy with 70% chance to inflict offense down, and on top of that, you get to attack again if the target had less than 50% turn meter. So that means we might be getting a lot of attacks out of turns with these guys. So keep that in mind. And Gar Suxon kind of has something similar where he can get a lot of multi-attack specials. You know what, Gary? Can we just show him just in case? You know, it's a kit we're not really reading all too much here. With the basic ability here, again, when you're being called to assist, this is what you're going to be looking at primarily We're going to be dealing physical damage to target enemy, 70% chance to inflict speed down. If the target already had speed down, you're going to reduce Garsuxin's cooldowns by 1. He also has turn meter removal potentially, so that'd be good. That could be nice. That's a lot of turn meter removal that was happening there. Viceroy's Vengeance, whenever another ally attacks during an enemy's turn, Garsux has a 100% chance to assist. What a weird way of wording it, but that was just how the game was back then. So don't sleep on this. I'm just putting it out there that Gar as well as Super Commando, they already have tons of attacks out of turns baked into their kit. And so getting that extra true damage protection recovery, it could be very nice for a Mandalorian team. But again, as we said in the Gideon kit reveal, as much as I would love these Mandalorians, I need Maul to make Lord Vader as good as he possibly can be, or else it's just a pure out snooze fest in my neck of the woods. Or people are using a Sirju to Malicos. I don't know if I want to go that far. I want to use the Mandalorian team. They are so much fun. They're so good. It really sucks. I got to cannibalize that team and put a Lord Vader. But who knows? Maybe, I don't want to sell this right now, but maybe Beskar Gideon's going to be great with Lord Vader, and you can use Maul. I don't know if I want to go that far, but I think Gideon and Maul could be good if Lord Vader, as we talked about. The unique ability, brand new, Super Commando Beskar Armor. Imperial Super Commando gains and Garsuxin, and again, an extra 30% defense, extra critical avoidance, extra max health, extra max protection. So I think it's going to help. That means they're probably going to be the ones that are going to be forced to taunt a lot in the Mandalorian team. If we're going for this full dark side lineup, the first time either character to be defeated, each encounter, they gain damage immunity for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So I think this, I just want to say this first. I think even though it's not is it a full-blown rework? Yeah, probably not. It's definitely kind of on the more touch-up side of things. But this seems usable. I would like to see more of this, where they do this a little bit more frequently. These characters that are underused, underappreciated, I would love to see something like this. So this would be kind of fun to just maybe just see what the new Mandalorian would look like if it's going to be a full dark side lineup. Gonna be curious to see how Beskar Gideon fits in here, especially with him not having to tag. I'm curious to see. Nonetheless, let's talk about Conquest real quick here. A few interesting things. I kind of was reflecting on this the other day. I feel like I don't use boosters that much in Conquest. The ones I would probably use are like the Frenzy tech. I find myself not utilizing it much. I'm guessing they probably saw something like that. They're boosting the consumables as well as they're adding data discs, which take more advantage of it. And I'm curious about this. They're adding some new preview tech, some sort of consumable where you can test out the Conquest unit as a summon. That's the one thing I like about a Conquest. It's like I can get a little sneak peek of a character. Usually it's on defense in the final waves of Sector 5. I would love an opportunity to try a Beskar Gideon. It just depends if we get the full kit or just a piece of it. We're gonna do a whole guide next week on the Beskar Gideon unlocking process. A little feedback for developers if you're watching this. The black background really makes it like I don't know. Even the tactical scanners are kind of going cross-eyed here. I think just having the white background with the lines, or at least white lines in there, would make this stand out a bit more. I want to say we have some Conquest feats. I know this is like beating a dead horse at this point, but I kind of miss the days of Conquest where it felt like we had more thematic feats that kind of matched the theme we're going for the brand new character. Lately, it's just a giant spreadsheet of chores. We kind of know that at this point. Not going to go all too much in depth in it, but we have like things like Hut Cartel, needing things like the Ewoks of Nisa, Captain Rex. We also have some Tusken stuff, defeating 100 enemies with her. Yikes, that's a lot. Some Jawas. I don't like these right here. A lot of unaligned forces that make absolutely no sense for Gideon. Like, I don't even know if there's, I don't even see any sort of like Mandalorians or Imperial Troopers in the event feats now, or the sector, whatever this is. The event feats, maybe they're in here. I'm gonna do a more in-depth guide. Don't want to bore you guys going all this right now. Here we go, some Empire units. There we go. At least we got some Empire stuff. Also some Wookiees, Galactic Legend, Lyragana. So I digress. We'll do a more in-depth guide on unlocking Gideon for next week when the Conquest boots up. And let's talk about Datacrons as well. Everyone's favorite stuff. Yay! Good. Let's look at the good news first. Good news is second Datacron set in a row where they're keeping the relic requirements much lower. 1, 3, and 5. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, of course, I would do the Datacron system in a totally different way if it was my opportunity to do so, but still allowing as many people to interact with Datacrons, the better, especially because of the stats. Like, the stats are really important for these Datacrons, and if you only have like a Relic 3 team and you need Relic 5 to get all the bonuses, it kind of sucks. So it's nice thing we're dropping the requirements down. Good thing is, no evasion. Keep that crap out of here. Now, it might not look like there's a very powerful level 3 bonus, and there really isn't nothing like crazy like max protection, health gains, turn meter, but I do think there's going to be a lot of benefits for unaligned force users as well as Imperial troopers as well as rebels. We get things like, you know, protection up for, and it's light side dark side. Before we had like dark side only, then it's light side only, then light side dark side. We have light side dark side this particular season, so nothing that might seem overtly crazy on here, but I want to point out, for example, the unaligned force users, all these protection up things, the extra buffs, especially you know, if Malicos gets a hold of these buffs, it could be pretty deadly. In the realm of Imperial troopers, they're always using basic abilities because they're assisting, getting critical chance of critical damage of an offense up. Firstly, holy cow, it's awesome for Dark Trooper. Furthermore though, extra turn meter for the Imperial Trooper engine. So even though it might not look overtly amazing in terms of a budget level 3 powerhouse ability, there's still some underlying things that could be helpful. The main things they're shooting for this upcoming Datacron set: unaligned force users, Ewoks, Imperial troopers explicitly getting a lot of buffs, as well as rebels. And I just want to hop down to it. They're bringing Galactic Legend Datacrons back. I was kind of semi-happy Galactic Legends weren't getting Datacrons, but I think this is mostly a bone for whales. The whales are going to be enjoying this. You know, they have Leia. They want to feel like they're getting all the benefits possible since they were an early adopter. Kind of understand, but we'll get to it later on. So unaligned force users, there's a lot of stuff going on. Stacking defense on like a Seer unit team, nutty. Even for, you know, Maul, that could be nutty as well. Remember, it's light side or dark side. We get turn meter gains whenever buffs are being granted, so that could be pretty nuts. An unaligned force user crew with the Seer unit. The Seer unit Malicos, we're going to be going more in depth on what the initial numbers are showing. It's a tough team. It's a really tough team to take down in Grand Arena. And I'm already seeing in territories, Malicos is causing some big headaches in territory wars too. And he doesn't even have an Omicron, but Cal and Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum do. We also have ways of reducing cooldowns, getting turn meter for unaligned force users. Also more ways of increasing max defense, health protection, and offense on a Seer unit team could be pretty nuts. And also we get repost that could be pretty nutty, especially for like Malicos. You know, it could be pretty crazy to have. Ewoks, again, it comes to a problem that you only need so many teams in Grand Arena or even territory wars, and Ewoks are not bad. They're very decent with Nisa, but they don't get a lot of action. We might see some action for Ewoks here. Anytime they're attacking on a turn, which is like all the time, an opportunity to get extra offense on the team. So that could be pretty nuts, which goes up to 100%. I'm not too crazy about this one with the debuff expiring. Retribution could be crazy. If you get the Ewoks to counterattack, use their basics, they might start rolling. So that could be secretly deadly for them. We have other things that like have stun interactions. I'm not too crazy about that. But we have this as well. Ewoks, when they're critical hitting an enemy, they get extra offense. So where they're attacking out a turn, Wicket gets a lot of critical hits. Could be good. I don't know how nutty, you know, but I think the Imperial Troopers have a very good opportunity to be solid. The sad fact of the matter, and people didn't believe me at first, now they're seeing, I saw a lot of comments saying, yeah, Imperial Troopers are having a rough time lately. The new generation of teams of Zori, Phoenix, you know, even Nisas and Tuskens, Seer Junas, they make it very complicated for the Veers team to work. Luckily, we have the current Moff Gideon to help us navigate through this, but also we have the future Beskar Gideon. But even for those that still want to rock Veers, look at what we got here. So not too crazy about this one when you inflict debuff, extra critical damage, not too crazy about that. We get protection recovery if you inflicted 5 debuffs. That could be nice for maybe Iden Versio or something like that. We have allies gain defense penetration up and offense up at the end of their turn. That could be extra turn meter for the engine right there. Also, being able to get offense equal to 400% of their current defense, that could be really great to have as well. So keep that in mind. An extra offense boost never hurts the Imperial Troopers. On top of that, we get bonus turns when you defeat an enemy. So Dark Trooper might get a ton of bonus turns. They're usually the one rocking things out and knocking fools out. We got Rebel stuff. Definitely Galactic Legend or Ghana oriented. Lots of turn meter gain opportunities. They get tenacity up on them, which could pair well with some of the tenacity up stuff that we see here. You get bonus protection when you get tenacity up. At the start of each turn, if non-Galactic Legend allies have 50% or more Terminator, they get reduced damage. That could be really tough for Leia. Having Drogon or R2 or base take a long time to get killed off could be a problem as well. Also, the ability block Kron that we see for Sith with the set that's about to go out is coming to the Rebels. Yeah, Galactic Legend Leia is going to be pretty nutty. We have a ton of unaligned force user stuff. Malicos. We're already trying to figure out how to handle a non-Datacron specific Malicos. It's going to get even crazier a lot of powerful level 9 bonuses that we got here, unfortunately. So he's going to get lots of Edge of Madness, tons of bonus turns. His cooldowns are going to get reset. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, going to be great for Territories, Grand Arena. She's going to get loads and loads and loads and loads of health and protection with all the buffs she's consuming. And on top of that, she's going to ignore taunts. Enemies are defeated by Ahsoka that can't revive. So kind of like bringing the Ahsoka Tano Omicron for Grand Arena, perhaps. We got some Nisa stuff where we're going to get extra offense. Every time they're getting buffs on them, Nisa's going to get extra critical damage. The first time Ewoks are defeated, they get revive potential. So this could maybe bring Ewoks to a more favorable forefront in Grand Arena. Again, I've got some decent use out of them, but I only need so much on the field. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. Scout Trooper, you know, you get extra bonus damage until the very end. We get potency up to the team. Remnant allies get offense up. It doesn't seem too crazy, but let's take a look at the Leia Organa. Second wind's going to deal an additional 50% health and protection. And then if second wind is dispelled from an ally, they're going to recover 100% protection instead. Leia's already a tough cookie. Some of the preliminary data is showing it. She's pretty rough to beat. I think CG undersold her, and it's going to get even tougher here. Also, if no allies had the taunt effect, this was kind of important. That was one thing I noticed and why I've been liking Baze. There's no pre-taunt on the team except for Baze. Well, now she's going to create a pre-taunt out of basically any other healthy Rebel tank ally. So making Old Ben pre-taunt, Kanan pre-taunt, Scarecrow Pathfinder pre-taunt. I felt like this was almost kind of needed in her kit. I'm not mad though, she's great. I use Baze Malbus instead, so nonetheless, a pre-taunt on Leia, maybe if you don't have Baze, could be a big deal. Drogon though is getting some love. I don't know if you're gonna want Drogon over Leia, but if you don't have Leia, maybe using Drogon with Mon Mothma, Sana Starros, maybe even Saw freaking Gerrera. He's gonna get bonus turns when all Rebel allies, all Rebel allies are gonna get Keen Stratagem. Drogon's gonna take a bonus turn. Usually his AI, he just uses Keen Stratagem, so he's gonna call a mass swarm with all those folks of Keen Stratagem, because it's kind of like Hermit Yoda's Master's Training. All Rebel allies gain 200% max health and immune to ability block and fear until the end of their turn. Whew. Yeah, I know I said the Leia Organa Datacron's probably gonna be one for Leia, but that, god dang. I don't want to imagine a GLA crew with an extra 200% max health. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say jury's out. That could be very solid for Galactic Legend Leia, or even Saw Gerrera, Mon Mothma. So yikes, that's a huge, oh my gosh, that actually, I think I might be underselling that one. I'm turning to CG. I'm underselling it. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. That could be great. When another ally is defeated, take a bonus turn and their cooldowns are resets for Visas Mara. Visas Mara does feel, she's just kind of there for the party. I rarely ever get to use her revive in a meaningful way. This could be great. Think of Rey, does her ult ability. She might accidentally kill someone off against your will. Visas comes in and gets a revive. Cool. Seer Junda, getting extra damage equal to half of their tenacity percentage. This effect will only trigger if they have more than 0% tenacity. So we'll have to wait and see. You know, extra bonus damage never hurts. Is it better than Malicos? We got to wait and see when we actually get our hands on it. We got some Chief Chirpa stuff. I think the Princess Nisa makes more sense. We got some Wicked stuff. I think Nisa might be a little bit better here with the revive potential. Iden Versio getting a little bit of love. When she has a self-cleanse capability. When they fall below 30% health, they recover 40% health and they get a bonus turn. Could be great. We have Colonel Stark. They're going to give that 10% stacking critical damage, defense penetration, and offense till the end of the battle. Stormtrooper, this is cool. When he loses taunt, remove 50% and terminate from all enemies. Could be nice. Also got some Rebel Officer Leia Organa. With the first time she's defeated, she's revived, gets 100% health protection over time, takes a bonus turn. Could be nice for Rebel, for Sana Starros' team. We got Wedge Antilles. Yeah, I'm not too sure if we're going to get much out of that. Saw Gerrera. Basically getting like a Galactic Legend unique ability clause, getting extra max health protection. And keep in mind, I don't know if you're going to use Drogon or Saw Gerrera. I think the Drogon Datacron just looks so much better than this, but nonetheless, maybe Saw Gerrera will be really good at this. And then we have Akbar. Whenever another ally attacks at a turn, they get 25% Terminator. So Akbar could be a lot of fun. Could be like an Imperial Trooper type of thing, especially if Leia under Akbar, she attacks at a turn a ton. So keep your eyes peeled on that. So nonetheless, I hate that they brought the Galactic Legend Datacron back. I'm glad that there's no dodge. There's no, the 200% max health is just absolutely absurd for Drogon. But we do have some max protection, health, defense. One of my biggest complaints, the Datacron set going on, the battles just felt like it was like 10-minute battles that I had to do in 5 minutes. I think it's going to be tempered a little bit since there's not a level 3 bonus, but I still expect people to chase after some of these crazy max health, max protection crons. Galactic Legend Leia with Drogon. Yikes, man. But that's just the crons for you. You know how it goes. Nonetheless, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm really curious to try out this Gar Suxon Imperial Super Commando with Maul. It might be really cool to see. It might replace Bo-Katan, and then maybe we're setting the stage for a future new Mandalorian team. I think that's another conversation for another day, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, an absolute privilege to hang out with you guys. And always remember, until that next time I meet, that it's great to be in the Empire today.